Hi, and welcome back to Point Serve. What is Point Serve? Point Serve is the first podcast by Crosspoint Church in Beckley, West Virginia. And I'm Vondi Cook. I'm the lead pastor here at Crosspoint. And allow me just a minute to explain why one more podcast. Out of all the podcasts that are out there, what this one seeks to achieve and what we are hoping to be able to help you and those around you with practical information, practical steps for followers of Christ who are in leadership positions, whether it's in a sacred space in church life, in the faith community, or whether or not you are in a secular marketplace position. We want to be able to help you be the leader that God has gifted you to be and to be the most effective and have the most influence for the kingdom of God in whatever place you find yourself working. And we want to help you improve your leadership abilities and influence others in your environment. We've been talking the last few months about leading leaders and what that looks like and taming the dragons around us. One of the things that we find within the Bible, actually in Romans 12, 1 Corinthians 12, and Ephesians 12, is that when God created people, He created all of us differently. He created us in different ways with different gifts and different abilities so that we could be very effective as His body walking around and working in the world. And when we understand that, not everybody is going to be alike. Our world would be a very dull place if everybody was the same. And so when we understand that this is nothing new for God, maybe it's new to us, but it was nothing new to Him. He understands how we're created. And so if I'm going to be a leader and I've got people working around with me and they're different, they think differently, they have different backgrounds, they have different things that they work with. How do I do that? Well, the first thing is I have to develop an awareness of different personalities. I have to develop an awareness of who they are, what they're like, and how to touch base with them. I also have to learn to develop an appreciation of different personalities. Because not everybody's going to talk like me, act like me, look like me, think like me. I have to develop an appreciation of how other people see the world and what they are looking at, looking to accomplish, looking to do. And I have to develop an appreciation for that. I also, as a leader, have to develop the ability to deal with different personalities effectively. I have to develop a way to deal with different people like that. And we've talked about different types of people throughout this portion of Point Serve. We talked about the raccoons, and these are all Appalachian animal types that we can look at. But the raccoon's the life of the party. Color is big. They want to be noticed. And when they walk into a room, everybody sees them. That's one personality type. The next personality type, which is kind of the opposite of that, is the beaver. And the beaver is one that gets after its tasks, goes after its projects. It doesn't want to be noticed, but it really wants to be appreciated for the job that it does. And wants you to understand what it needs. And if you are a leader, you will lead a raccoon and a beaver totally differently. Then last month we talked about the mountain lion. And the mountain lion can be the scariest. The mountain lion can be the toughest because the mountain lion is that one that says, do it my way now. They're the ones that say, I'm busy. I'm giving my time to be a part of who you are and what you're doing, and I'm giving you the opportunity to influence me. Go ahead and do it now. Make sure you don't miss anything about what I'm trying to do. So those are the three we've talked about. Now the fourth and final one that we're going to look at today is one that many of us, if you are over 50 years old, you will understand the reference to a dog named Lassie. And Lassie is a collie. And collie dogs are known for being friendly. They're known for not being super aggressive. They'll fight if they have to, but typically they would rather wag their tail and have you pet them. And so that's the fourth personality type when it comes to leading those around you. And that is working with that collie dog, working with those that are there. And, as a leader, I need to understand that the raccoons, the beavers, the mountain lions, and the collies are all different. And as I value that, I can then begin to pull out of them the very best that's there. So with this collie, what's important to a collie, or what does a collie look like? Let's go there first. A collie is kind of a middle of the road person. They're not big highs, big lows. They're pretty stable. They're dependable. They'll be there when you need them to be. They'll get the job done. There aren't a lot of glaring faults. And some of the other personality types, you can tell that raccoon, you can tell who they are. And if that raccoon doesn't get the attention that it craves and it really desires, then that raccoon, the world just collapses. But collies really aren't that way. They'll let you talk to them. They'll let you call them. They'll let you pet them. But, no big highs, no big lows, nothing like that. And like most dogs, collie personality types, they're happy to be there. They're happy to be a part of what's happening. They're happy to just know the things that are going on and the processes that they're working with. And with the collie, you can tell them that sometimes they're loud and sometimes they're not. Unlike the raccoon that's typically always loud and the beaver that's typically always quiet, collies can be both ways. But one thing you'll learn about a collie is that they'll wag their tail at people they know, but they'll bark at strangers. Sometimes with a collie, those things that are new, those things that are fresh, it takes them a while to warm up to them. They have to, as a dog, they have to smell things and make sure it's okay. They have to work their way up to it. And once they're there and once they know that everything is okay, then they're able to adapt to it and they're able to move on to it. Because with a collie dog, there's a motto that they tend to live by. And it can be viewed two different ways. The first one is when they're involved in something, it can be viewed this way. Well, in 100 years, what's it going to matter? Or the collie dog says, in 100 years, what's it going to matter? Because you see, both of those come from two polar opposite places. The one is this is not going to matter and people aren't going to pay attention to this and they're not going to know about it in a century. On the other side, the collie says, in 100 years, is this going to matter? Because they want to give their lives for things that will matter. They want to give their lives for things that are going to really change and impact people, not just for today, not just for tomorrow, but for eternity. So as we've looked over these for the last 4 months now, the raccoon, the beaver, the mountain lion, and the collie, which one are you? Which one best describes you? Because if you don't know which one best describes you, you're not going to know really how to lead the others. If you know how you function and which one fits you, then you will do a much better job in influencing and leading the people that are around you. So, raccoon, understand, beavers aren't going to be the life of the party, and mountain lions aren't going to want to just hang out with you for no reason. They're going to want to know the purpose and the reason. So as a raccoon, you've got to learn how to lead them. And mountain lions, lighten up a little bit, because you'll run off every raccoon that you need in your organization. You'll make all the beavers mad, and the collies will bark at you. Which kind of leader are you? Because when you know what kind of leader you are, you will be much more effective in leading those that are around you. Thank you so much for being a part of Point Serve today. I really appreciate it. And if you found something that is of value to you today, hit that like button for us. Please hit that like button and then share this podcast and hand it off to a friend. You can do that very easily. Hand it off to them. Let them know what's here and what has helped you in what we've talked about, so that we can be better influencers in the world around us, because our world needs people who are willing to influence and work hard to share leadership in a positive way. Today, Point Serve has been produced and directed by Mike Smith in coordination with Cross Point Church here in Beckley, West Virginia. Thank you so much. We'll look forward to seeing you in October, when we might share something a little bit scary. Have a great rest of the day.